1946, 5 members of the Van Ulst family arrived at the Devil's Den State Park in western Arkansas to spend a week in a cabin. After getting unpacked, the father, along with his daughter, who was 8 years old, named Catherine, and her 2 older brothers, they headed down this creek that led up to the side of a dam. Catherine and her 2 brothers jumped in the water, and their father just sat on the edge to watch. The swimming area had one really deep section that you were allowed to swim in, but the kids that were not strong swimmers tended to stay away from, and Catherine was not a great swimmer, and at one point she kind of drifted into the deep section and her father didn't notice, but a woman who was staying at the campground, who the family didn't know, saw Catherine struggling. She reached in and pulled her out. Catherine was fine, and the woman told her, "You gotta be more careful," and Catherine said, "Okay." Catherine's father sees his daughter talking to some stranger, waves in their direction, and the woman, she sees this, and she must have been a mother herself. She picked up on his uncomfortability, turns to him and says, "Everything is totally fine. I was just helping your daughter get out." Catherine's father turns to his daughter and says, "You gotta be more careful. Don't go in the deep end." And Catherine's like, "Okay." Catherine walks to the backside of the dam, because this dam, it was a gradual slope of these big boulders that the kids at this campground would climb all over, and their parents would watch them next to the swimming area. Catherine's father was watching his 2 sons, and then he'd look over and watch Catherine, but at some point when he was looking at his sons, he looked back at Catherine and she was gone. He's looking all around and he's thinking to himself, "I just saw her seconds ago." Before long, Catherine's father is screaming for Catherine. He's enlisted the help of everybody at this campground, and there's no sign of this girl. After about an hour of looking, Catherine's father went and got police. 2 days of searching the very thick forest and finding no trace of Catherine, authorities decided it was far more likely she had drowned and began draining these 2 sections of water to see if her body would be at the bottom. But she wasn't there. On June 22nd, 6 days after Catherine went missing, a group of searchers were located 7 miles into the forest. They were walking up this mountain and they're yelling Catherine's name, and they stop when this little girl wearing only a bathing suit walks out of a cave, looks down at them and just says, "Here I am." The searchers couldn't believe it. It was Catherine. She was reunited with her family. They brought her to the hospital, and 2 days later she was discharged. This 8-year-old, who's never spent any time in the woods before, survives for 6 days and 6 nights with only a bathing suit on. Despite there being no potable water, she was determined to be relatively well hydrated and had only lost a couple of pounds. So rescuers believe the minimum real distance she would have covered to get up to that cave was about 30 miles, and she did it barefoot. When authorities asked her, "How did you do this?" she said, "I don't know. I don't remember how I got lost. I only remember sleeping on warm grass." Her next memory is waking up inside of a cave on day 6. She has no idea what happened between day 1 and day 6. While some say this is just a really weird case, others think there was something in the forest that chased her, forcing her to run, and because it was so traumatic, she forgot the experience. But like all of the missing 411 stories, we have a lot more questions than answers.